Hello everyone, and welcome to the Basil Engineering Library 3D Printer Library Technology Plan presentation. Please keep in mind that presentation sources are used in accordance with the Multimedia Fair Use Guidelines and are not for copying and pasting by other users.
The Basil Engineering Library is part of a large public university on the East Coast. The university has a system of several libraries, some serving the entire campus, and others that serve as specialized libraries for a specific department, like ours. The campus serves approximately 45,000 students, with the engineering department comprising about 8,000 students, as well as 275 faculty members. While there are several engineering programs within the department, mechanical engineering is a large focus.
To begin strategizing our technology plan, we began with the 4 simple questions tool. We asked ourselves what is right, what is wrong, what is missing, and what is confused. So what is right in our library? Currently, our patrons have access to books and research, scholarly publications, the internet, etc., plenty of traditional technologies such as computers and printers, priority on teaching and fostering growth in students, and adequate space for implementing new technologies. On the other hand, what is wrong? Right now, there is a lack of ability for our students to practice the cognitive and technical skills they're learning in the classroom. According to Rednecke, engaging with 3D printing technology allows students to improve both their cognitive and technical skills. Makerspaces that include 3D printers enable engineering students to experience hands-on learning and practice those technical skills. There's also a need to improve student engagement. And as academic librarians, we are seeking ways to engage students beyond the reference desk and the classroom setting. We have a need to enhance digital literacy with our students and faculty. According to the American Library Association Digital Literacy Task Force, digital literacy is the ability to use information and communication technologies to evaluate, create, and communicate information, requiring both cognitive and technical skills. Rednecke states that using 3D printing technology is a way to enhance these skills. Despite our university being cutting edge in instruction, we lack the innovation and the latest technologies in our library. 3D printers are a new technology and major innovation that librarians are embracing everywhere and are applicable to several industries, including engineering. Now that we've talked about what is wrong, what is missing that could help fix that? We need our library to create a space for hands-on learning, creative endeavors, and the application of learned knowledge and skills. We can achieve that with new and innovative technologies that are used in makerspaces. But what is still confused? How can we foster a connection between what is learned in the classroom and technical/practical skills? How can we engage students more effectively? How can we better influence information and technological literacies? How can we better engage with faculty in the engineering department? And lastly, how can we better library programming by integrating with course curriculum? Our intent is to implement an innovative, engaging technology that can facilitate hands-on learning and creativity. After a great deal of research, we came to the conclusion that a 3D printer would best meet this goal. The professional literature supporting 3D printer implementation in an academic library is robust both in quality and quantity. While the research may point to a 3D printer, we wanted to be sure that it matched our patrons' needs. We conducted a survey of our library community, asking students, staff, and faculty about 3D printers. Some of the questions included, do you think a 3D printer being available would help you with your studies, work, or teaching? 70% of respondents said yes, only 17% said maybe, and 13% said no. We also asked which model would best meet the needs of the respondents. There were a variety of options and a space to suggest another. In conclusion, the results showed that our patrons thought they would benefit most from an Ultimaker S3.
Implementing a 3D printer supports 3 core values of the Basil Engineering Library: access, service, and education. The Basil Engineering Library is committed to providing students and faculty members access to technologies that facilitate teaching, learning, skill development, and experiential opportunities. According to CURT 2012 in paragraph 10, Academic libraries are in a unique position to be able to leverage the wealth of learning and opportunities for knowledge creation that access to such technology can provide in a way that most individual departments are not. This library strives for excellent service with trained professional staff members who receive training on new technologies and software available through the library. Providing access to, training about, and assistance with technology is a service that libraries have been providing for years. Prior 2014 points out the obvious examples of computers, copiers, and printers. However, according to page 8, as technology shifts, so do libraries. Technology now exists and is affordable to create and distribute information in new ways, and particularly for academic libraries. 3D printing creates possibilities for teaching and research, as well as providing students familiarity with the technology that is affecting nearly every industry. Our library's goal is to promote, encourage, and enhance the educational experiences of those we serve so that they can apply what they learn in the classroom to real-world situations. Letnikova and Zhu, 2017, state on page 215 that 3D printing in education will become the key element in motivating students' learning interest, helping them to understand complex topics, and will prepare students to enter their future workforce environment.
After extensive research, the Ultimaker S3 3D printer was chosen for the Basil library. This printer is accessible and easy to use and has an all-in-one design, which features active leveling, a stiffer build platform, and a heated build plate. The Ultimaker S3 is fully customizable and is able to utilize a wide range of raw materials. It was by far the most popular 3D printer in the survey.
The average engineering department student at our university is like our persona, Michael, a 21-year-old single Caucasian male. He is a junior in the mechanical engineering program with a part-time job on campus, and he lives in an on-campus apartment. For social media platforms, he likes using YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. He also uses the gaming platforms Discord and Twitch. Michael's primary sources of news and information are the internet and social media, and he usually uses his smartphone or laptop to access them. Michael trusts word of mouth advertising, user reviews, top 10 lists, and recommendations by friends on social media. For entertainment, he streams movies and music, watches YouTube, plays video games, and uses virtual reality. Michael's frustrations include having very little free time and spending money as a college student and not having opportunities to practice or apply the knowledge and skills that he is learning in the classroom as much as he would like. His aspirations include getting into graduate school, obtaining a position with a prominent engineering firm, moving up the career ladder quickly, obtaining a senior mechanical engineering position during his career, and owning a home with property so he can build a shop to create and work on personal design projects. Michael's values include hard work, money, status, education, job, financial, vehicle, etc., networking, innovative designs, technology, entertainment, and friends. He fears whether he will choose the right major, which is a big concern due to the cost of school, trying to maintain a high GPA, not being accepted into graduate school, or getting a competitive internship. Debt and trying to pay off school loans, not obtaining a job with a leading engineering firm after he graduates, and having to live at home with his parents if he doesn't get a good job after graduation. Our conclusion is that adding a 3D printer to the academic library aligns with our persona's values by providing access to educational opportunities, hands-on learning, and creative endeavors that will increase his learning, experiential skills, and design capabilities. As a result, it could potentially help him maintain a high GPA, be accepted into graduate school, get a highly sought-after internship, and obtain an engineering position with a leading firm when he graduates. These accomplishments would then support many of his other values.
A potential external opportunity is the ability to leverage campus-wide resources, such as IT, engineering, and other departments that already have 3D printers for training, troubleshooting, maintenance and repairs, partnerships, and joint purchasing. We could also collaborate with the engineering department regarding curriculum, as well as partner with public libraries for joint programming. Potential external threats are engineering and other departments that may already have 3D printers, resistance from faculty members, engineering firms offering internships, and public libraries. According to Letnikova and Zhu, 2017, libraries are leaders in technological innovations, and increasing numbers of public libraries are offering the use of 3D printers to the public. Our library's internal strengths for this project include a strong interest and motivation among students, faculty, and staff. 3D printer implementation supports our institutional values and aligns with enduring trends in the industry. We are part of a large and well-funded institution and already have LibCal internal scheduling software, and a 3D printer allows for curriculum-based practical application as well as community outreach. Our internal weaknesses are the lack of 3D printer experience, training, and knowledge among library staff, potential budgetary constraints, a need for maintenance and repairs, and the ongoing costs of raw materials. The Basil Engineering Library has a desktop computer station that can be dedicated to the 3D printer, access to open source 3D printer software, plenty of electrical outlets and wired Ethernet jacks, a strong Wi-Fi connection throughout the building, cloud access, and an excellent HVAC system. The 3D printer and its designated desktop computer station will be housed in a former office space. It has electrical outlets and wired Ethernet jacks at every corner, and the Wi-Fi connection is strong. A main wall has 2 windows offering natural light, and there are light fixtures throughout, including the corners. The library has an excellent HVAC system. An extra table and chairs allow students to bring their own laptops for use. The room has a stool that can easily be moved about for additional seating. There is also a small, lockable cabinet for filament and miscellaneous storage. We have used furniture that our library already had available. A storage area behind the library's circulation desk will hold completed projects. The room and furniture are ADA accessible.
Our Basil Engineering Library 3D printer marketing plan includes the following things. We will market our 3D printer to the following target market groups. 8,000 Basil Engineering Library engineering students, 275 engineering department faculty members, and 45,000 university students. To market our new Basil Library 3D printer, we will do the following things. We will create a press release and email it to our campus radio station and campus newspaper. We would then contact both of them directly and ask them to create a news article about our 3D printer and to broadcast this article for 1 full week on their station. We will print up 2,000 3D printer color flyers, and then we will set them out in Basil Library and next to our checkout counters. Our flyer will include a how-to information area and a fees section area too. We will create social media articles and ads and place these articles and ads on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. We will create a free instructional video and place it on YouTube and then on our library's website. Our library sends out an email newsletter to our university's engineering students every week, and we will email blast information about our new 3D printer to our new students. We will create a 3D printer poster and place it on a stand and at the entrance of our Basil Engineering Library.
When we began our research into the purchase of a 3D printer for the Basil Library, we started with a budget of $5,000. The Ultimaker S3, the most popular 3D printer in the survey, starts at $3,850 new and comes with a 1-year warranty period for free. The 3D printing software is free of charge, and the 16-pack engineering filament costs $917. For staff training, we've budgeted $76.50 for 4.5 hours of core library tech staff training from a 3D printing technician at $17 per hour. All library staff trained by the core library tech staff will then in kind have the information disseminated to them. Installation of the Ultimaker S3 is free and be completed by core library tech staff with user manual post-training. The marketing budget, in kind by the library, was free on campus through flyers, email announcements, and social media platform advertising. Advertising off campus would come by form of campus newspaper and the local radio station and would only run $150. The operating cost for the Ultimaker S3, paid by engineering department or patrons, would be based upon material used. On average, academic libraries charge between $4.95 and $10 per cubic inch printed, and we will do in kind. Overall, the total cost for the Ultimaker S3 3D printer came well within the budget.
The implementation of a 3D printer is a pretty lengthy process, so we've set out this Gantt chart to kind of help break it down. So as you can see here, our start date is May 31st, 2021, and our end date is August 31st, 2021. And it'll take 90 days to complete the entire project. Here we've got a weekly timeline that breaks up the project week by week. So this white chunk is the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, and so on. For the purpose of this demonstration, today's date is July 20th. So it's broken up into these 5 phases, as you can see here on the side. We've got research and advocacy, project definition and planning, project implementation, training, and finally outreach and evaluation. Each of the tasks on the Gantt chart is demonstrated with this bar chart here, and I wrote out the code for these bar charts to be created based on the start date and end date of the project and the start date and end date of the particular phase or task. These bar charts are important because they don't only take information from the start date and end date of the project and the assignment, they also take from the status. So as you can see, all of these tasks have already been marked as complete, so they turned gray. And for example, if I was to mark one of them active, it turns red because if today's date is July 20th, we've already passed the end date for that particular task. So I'll go ahead and mark that as complete again. But for example, here we're in the project implementation phase because I've marked these active. And for example, let's just say that we have not yet prepared for installation. So I've marked that as incoming. Now that changes the color to dark red. But if it's active and we're still within the time range for the task, it stays yellow. If the item on the list is upcoming and we haven't hit the date for it to start yet, the bar chart is green like this. And last but not least, we've got this burn down bar chart here at the bottom that tells us how far through the entire project we are. This kind of gives us a sense of how much we've got left and how much we've already accomplished.
Our goals are SMART: specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. Our first goal is to enhance student learning and the practical application of knowledge and skills learned in the classroom. To measure this goal, we will distribute student and faculty surveys at the end of each semester to evaluate student learning, performance, and growth when our 3D printer was used. The 2020 Taheri et al. Article provides survey question examples. Our second goal is to coordinate with faculty members to ensure that the Basil Engineering Library 3D printer is used by all Introduction to Visualization and Computer-Aided Design course sections for their group-based final projects during the first academic year after printer installation. Our measurement will be based upon whether instructors agreed and had their students in the ME 123 courses use our 3D printer for their final class projects. Our next goal is overall satisfaction with the 3D printer. To measure this, online surveys will be distributed to library patrons after their scheduled use of the 3D printer. And finally, to increase overall student and faculty engagement, We aim for recreational use of the 3D printer an average of at least 5 times per week by the end of the first academic year after installation. As a measurement, we will use LibCal analytics to calculate the number of times the 3D printer is scheduled for use by an individual not using it specifically for an engineering class project. If these goals are not reached by the end of the first academic year after implementation, we will reevaluate the accessibility of our 3D printer, revise our marketing plan and strategies, reassess our training procedures, and reduce the cost for recreational use of the printer if necessary. We will also consult with students and faculty members to address any significant discrepancies or issues. References are available upon request. Thank you for your time and consideration. We look forward to receiving your feedback.